Hello, Ronald. What's going on? How is it at your parents? Talking me against me. But Ronnie, you know other people are going to watch. Well, hold on a second. First you call me Ronald, then you respond to Ronnie, so now we've separated myself. I wonder what Raphael is doing, right? Mr. Tacpines, you coming over to get involved? We're not sure. Why do I joke around like this? Because, oh my God, because I have this here, I'm now hearing a buzz going through his feet into my ear. They've turned me on inside their system. No, they didn't, Ronnie. You're just imagining it all. Nothing's actually happening. Whatever you've done ever since the beginning, it's all in your own imagination. Well, what about all the stuff I showed? Well, you made it all up. But it makes sense. Doesn't matter. That's what they do nowadays. They open up a computer company, and now all of a sudden, every single company now calls a certain item a cookie, a server. I don't have a butler. I didn't have a server. And you know what? My server went down, my server went down, my server went down, but never did I hear my server complain. So new words that come out that they must. The evil sources of the world, the privatization, those who need things private, the reality of what really is private and not in general to the private organization, which is the public. The privatized organization of the public, which is run by the generals. They change words to make sure that the words will always be used in their own way. They make you learn new words and then they put you to court. So you should only twist and twist up everything you say, and you need a lawyer because if you say the wrong word, they now find you guilty. Now that's pretty stupid. But anyways, the pre-matrix lingo computer, cookies and bees. When you look at bees, have you ever looked into the sky and there's a satellite? The satellites can sting at both ends. Well, that's as much of a bee to me as anything else. B is 2, A is 1. Would you say God was A or B? In fact, God was A and B 8 times over. 8 times A and B, which is 3, is 24. But A and B together backwards is 168. He's the spirit of heaven. And forwards, A and B together, he is 96. 9 and 6 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 21 times 8. A and B, H, A and B, the Hab of creation heaven, which is the Montreal Canadiens. Every single letter of every single word works. And the 8x3, 24 works for the 24 Stanley Cups that Montreal owns in their favor. 168 and 96, 170, 186 did I say? 186, 168 is what I said. 168 and 96 is 264. 264 times 3 times 2 is 528. 528, 528 on your phone, 825 on your calculator. Wow, how A and B with the 8 directions and 45 degrees with each direction except for the separation between the 2 sides in which is owned by this. I own 1.5 to the left. I own 1.5 to the right. But the thing is, when you own 1.5 to the left and right, and you're the only one in this world, you own that 3. Automatic. It's 2 on this side, but then there's automatically 2 above. Creates the X because you own the center, here and here. 277 days it comes out to. 273 plus the ownership of here and here. Here and here. These 2 and these 2. Then you are born on the 278th day of the year, 273, 39 weeks, 7 days in a week, 273 days, which is also adding 1 all the way to 13 equals 91, 1 all the way to 13 equals 91, 1 all the way to 13, you have 3 suits, so we have 3 suits, we got 3 suits, 2 up, 2 down, we got 3 suits, spades, clubs, and hearts equals to a total of 91 in each suit. And 273 days, or 39 weeks and 7 days, we've been giving birth to a diamond suit. Why? Because when the diamond puts on his suit, he splits up. His diamond is 4 and 4, 8, 1 in the center. He's got 9, 2 on his shoulders, 2 on his hips. We're ready to go. Feel like joking around or monkeying around? Take a look inside there. What does that look in between his legs here? Oh, that's not nice that I say it. So what were we talking about? 2 and 6, 2 and 8? Right. A, B, and H. But in all reality, you should really just say A, B, and G. Okay, so it's A, B, G, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the piano. A and B is 3. A and G is 8. B and G is 9. G and G, which is C and G, just like on your telephone, they're crisscrossed, equals 10. 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, and 1. 1, 2, with the 7, create 8 and 9. This is H and I. 10, 11, 10, because now you went the smallest to the biggest, then you go now the biggest to the smallest. And this is recreated underneath 10, so you have to start at 10. 10, 1, 11, 10, 2, 12, 10, 3, 13, but this would have to be the 4, 5, and then the 6 and 10 again. What does this do? What I'm trying to show you, this is in the piano. Really what you do is A, G, B, G, A plus B plus G equals this. A plus G is 8. B plus G is 9. A, B, and G equals 10, because 10 is on the other side. This is all in the one position. That is why we add it together. Now you go from the minimum. The representation of G is 3, is 7. The representation of 9 is A, is 1. The representation of B is 2, is 8. I don't think A was first. Everybody knows the dot over here was first. Then they came to the dot down here and they matched them together. This wasn't first and first. We had to draw the lines. Could have been a ruler. Could have been that purple and red and blue. When you cut yourself, you win the Purple Heart. How far apart are we? The other thing I wanted to show you is E, 5, W equals 23. 2 and 3 is 5. N equals 1 and 4. So you can say Wednesday or east, west, and north. If you add 9 to 5, it's 14. If you add 9 to 23, it's 32. If you add 9 to 14, it becomes 23. You would now have new. New 9, new shine, new 9. So we did that. So the satellites are like the bees, and if the bees are falling on the ground, we have to understand, although we're private citizens, we always have to think of what's going on in the public for the better of our children. We can't just say for the better of us. It's always for the better of our children. When we bring up our children, we want it for the better of them. So if we bring up our children, without saying a word to our children, if we have done our right thing during the times we were alive, then our children would be able to understand and have the life they need and do it for their children. Instead of the minute it comes to your children are born, no, you can't have this, and you can't have this, and you can't have this. If we would have built the society for our children right now, we would be guiding our children by what, not what everybody else is doing, but what the logistics are, what is logic. We all think of the same thing. There's one thing we want that's pretty much the same as everybody else, and that's peace. And whatever you got to do, you always have to fight for that peace. The protection of the better of the understanding between one is the understanding between one and the other. When one understands one and one understands the other, there's only so much people should really push. But if nobody knows how to hold them back or teach them to push less, well, stop putting the blockade. Stop putting the blockade. If a guy has a garden at his house, let him grow what he wants. Let him sell what he wants. Now we have to set up societies, not let him sell, no selling. You go to his farm, you trust the guy, you don't, and by the word, you take from his farm what you like. No more of this getting on and bargaining and selling. Hey, I bought this coffee, it said 100% coffee, and it's not true. It's impossible. The coffee they used was 100%, but they put it inside regular water, garbage water. They took a cup. Do you know half these cups, what they do? Not these. But if you leave the coffee in them too long, they wear down. the NHL logo, the New York Islanders, Rangers, Nets, Mets, and Giants from San Francisco and New York, basketball teams, hockey, and football, and there's something going on we already know, especially when they call it the 50 pass and they're going through Nevada. Do you know how many times I keep seeing Nevada? What they do in Nevada stays in Nevada? How great it is to be silent, but when you are kept to a silence, when you don't know how to share the word. And when I speak of all this, I mean, if you're thinking this, there's probably one thing you're thinking that you don't think I think of. Oh, it's going to be boring and unfair. Well, let me tell you one thing. There's always going to be that vote how to make things fair. But if there's somebody more intelligent than another one, should it be unfair to him? But if he doesn't notice it to the middle of his life and then all of a sudden 3% or 2%, that's where the problem is. Everybody has to understand, in life there should be no more than 3 questions. It's either got to be this, this, or this, and that's it. And everybody has to fall into category of 33%. The crestation, the crest of life, to understand the basic 10 rules and regulations of life. One is to look your mother and your father and to know they're both inside of you and they've never given up from day one. And if they have given up, they've given up not on you, but they have given up on the society of the better understanding for the populace of the life and the living, of the times we spend between the times of our life and what's going to come on from the infractions that we create during our lifetime in the lifetimes of our great-grandchildren, is the question you always have to ask. Or do we speak too much? Is life that hard that it's so hard to make a decision to discuss? We have to close down, go on strike? Where only one person in the crowd is a bad apple, and now you all look the same. What will I have to do? Was the question somebody says, what are you going to do? I'm already doing it. I'm sharing my private thinking with everybody here, making sure that whatever I do for the best and the better understanding of all is that if I do infect anybody else by a misunderstanding, that they should come out and speak it now. Because that's the difference. One misunderstanding I played hockey last night. That was the craziest hockey game I ever played. The ice rink was, oh wait a second, there wasn't ice, but it was pretty slippery. It was maybe 7 feet wide by 18 feet long, and we were 5 of us. And man, did they play. One kid was 8, the other one was 13, the other one was 22. Well, 22, they're in the NHL already, so. And then the father in the background, he's coaching us at the same time. Anyways, 40 years ago, the horse Sham ran. Ham, spirit angel of man, 40 years ago, every works in 40s. 46 years ago, it was Mash. And this speaks about the Israeli of Zion. Mash, Sham, and Smash. This is all about Zion, my friends. 9077th Mash. And after that came off the effect of the thought, if you know how I run numbers, number 11 comes onto the radio, goes, 11977 Shom FM. Shom 38. And everything kept relating back to the horns and the bells and the trains and all the way back up to Hoover Dam. But it's not only Hoover Dam. There's a bunch of them. LG, something over here in the north where I live, there's something. And it doesn't only mean of water. Oil. They already did the oil one, BP. And every single ship that comes on by that turns over with oil, like it's that important to bring that oil hundreds of thousands of miles over here. What, we're not smart enough to do anything different? Are we that stupid? Absolutely not. It's the sales. Don't forget, when the scientists work for you and your company, they're going to do everything you want. And a lot of times you won't give it to anybody else until you're 100% sure because you don't want the backlash. So you know right away. So we run for the oil. But still I say to myself, do we need that oil to run hydroelectric? Is it just about our cars? Is it going to take us an extra hour to drive somewhere? Hey, they're still running on electric cars out there. What does it take? What do we need to just switch the whole thing over? Why are we even bringing in the oil? Why do we have to bring it in? Because somebody wants to go faster? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And I drove truck, and I'm driving from one end of the city to the other end of the state to bring equipment to a company that could have bought it from the down the street store. Sometimes you have to live with what you have, and if it's getting rid of the oil, I really have to look deep down into it and really understand more of the situation. New York Rangers. Oh, this was so cool. You see this word here? The N. Okay? The N. You see the N on this side? It's the 14th letter. 1 and 4 is 5. 5 equals E. You see the way? 5, 2 and 3 is 5, 1 and 4 is 5. Add 9, add 9, add 9. You have the same letter. All the same letters. But it took 9 from 5 to go back to 5 again. But it does the same for all of them, but with this one it's special, because you go right back to the middle again. So then we turn around to this side and we look. E and N is the same. It says 2 and 8. Not tonight, but 2 and 8. Or you're too late. Too late, too 8. So what are they telling us about too late and tonight and the NHL? If you redesigned it, oh man, if I sit down with a little bit more lines for my paper and understood the exact dimensions, the reason why I do more things square is I can cut the corners after. But when you're working with a piece of equipment, you buy it in square, and then you cut it round after. You always need to cut the corners off, and you always have to have the full extension. I mean, you can't slice a piece like this and then do this. I mean, then your home design. If you have to do this and this, that means your original piece is already square or rectangular. Do you understand what I'm saying? If it's round, you might square it off. The minute you cut something, the minute you put a torch to something, you have made a hole and you have made a line. Before you have done anything, you have made a line. If I can curve one line around the geometry of a tree of 108 squares, okay, and I only have to do this, and be off within only one square of 38, that would be 38 divided by what equals to the number of squares and the percentage of how much my line was. Oh, you didn't draw a straight line. Does that mean it's curved? No. See, it's the same thing. If I don't go around like this, I'm not making a curve. I'm making a straight line. So that's why when you cut, it's a straight line. Cut it straight. Guy comes back, cut it straight, cut it straight. And I'm looking at the guy and I'm going, he's saying to me, he's going, cut it straight, make sure it's straight. And in all actuality, I say, okay, I'm cutting it. Okay, it was like this, but now it's like this. Same thing. All you got now is, if you take a look, I got these beautiful round corners. Hold on a second. Look at those nice round corners I have. Now, if I took this and put this here, what would it look like? It's a bridge! This is the waterway. The water goes through here and you cross over the bridge this way. And I cut it straight. One short line at a time. From point A to point B, one short line at a time, because point A and point B, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. You're not actually cutting round. You're looking for point A. If you take 1 trillion dots and say hit all these numbers, you're always going to go straight to the next number, but at the end it looks round. Royal blue, the color of blood, purple, type O, fish. What kind of fish has an O in it? Where does the Obama come from? Where does the O in Obama comes from? Find something different. Is it a rock? Is it from the Flintstones? Where is Obama's name in history in order to figure out where the DNA? If he's supposed to be the final can I say inquisition, or the final piece of the puzzle, then is it anything to do with his DNA? And it doesn't matter what it is, we need to understand what the O is, and I have to study all these letters. If I knew more about the letters. Anyways, this was what they mentioned the other day. We have a hard time in Pittsburgh handling number 11. Number 11, Shalom FM, star 3864. Now 8 is like 0, because to get the 8, it's 6 and 2, number 26. T20, 26 is 8. Can you see this train here? It's the same number, 3064. I don't care if I said 38. 3064, this train. And it says it 3 times. So 8, 8, and 8 is 24 is 6, 4, 4, and 4 is 3. So it's 3063 or 3663. 3663 equals to 13 moons, 9, 18, 19, 9, 10, 0, 3, 6, 6, 3, 9, 1, 6, 7, 4. 47,619. Agad. You know what that says? Of course I'm making it up. But I've made it up 1,000 times in the same situation and said the same thing. Because we all make it up. You read it in another book. You've learned it somewhere else. You saw the answer popped up somewhere else. And because you replicate what somebody else has done, you have made it up. It was a choice upon your own thoughts. The thing about making things up and based on our own thoughts of what other people have done before is based on the judgment between what they call the right way, the better of the understanding, or you are definitely off in another field. We don't understand you. You cannot be wrong because we don't know how we know any better. But it equals to this. Time of creation of man's face of the 19 moon. The end. This is the creation upon creation. 36, 63, 99. This is Jupiter in the 13 worlds. Time, man. What you do over here, 7 by 4, is the Einstein theory. In order to replicate this, we need to put 6 over 4. In order to replicate 9, we have to put 1 over 9. All we're left with is 7. So we'll have 4, 6, or 1947, or 1974. So 1974, because I feel like doing it that way. Because I feel like doing it that way. And not only this, but there's another number for this. 2002, when they mentioned that there was a comet that came here, and then in 2005, when they mentioned another comet that came here, they both definitely 100% have big, big, big meaning, and it was Walt Disney's 100th anniversary or something like that. But what happens here, 974, 21 is the dice cube. This is space and time, the Einstein theory. 47, 44 is space, and 47 is time. It would equal to 91. 91. 6 and 4 is 10. 6 and 7 is 13. 1 and 9 is 10. 9 and 7 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. It would be 7. 1 and 4 is 5. We'd have 7, 5, 6. We'd also have, instead of 7, 5, 6, we'd have 7... So we'd have 6, 5, 7, which is, I think, 9 times 19. 9 times 19 is 180, 171, which would be O and O at the end result, which means moon above moon. Okay? Don't forget, this is an O, a 0, right? But it's created with the 1. When you create this 1 with this 0, it becomes this number, 9. This is a 0 and this is 0. 2 zeros means space. Because space, 1 space, 2 space. Here's an open space and a closed space. Here's a divided space. You understand it? So anyways, 987 plus 987, I wonder who marked that, eh? 987 and 987, 7 and 7 is 14, 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, 8 and 8 is 16, plus the 1 from here is 7. 9 and 9 is 18, plus the 1 is 9, 19, 74. 47, 74, 19, 19. What do you think? You think it works out purposely or on purpose? 21 by 47. 19, 21, 19. The difference between Judas Ericus and Jesus Christ of Nazareth. All coming from creation of man's numbers in the gematria tree. 7 plus 9 is 16. Carry the 1. Mark the 6. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus the 1 is 17. Carry the 1. 7 plus 8 is 50. 7 plus 9 is 16. 8 and 8 was 16. Carried the 1. 8 and 8 is 16. Carry the 1 is 17. 7 and 9 is 16. Carry the 1 is 17. 1776. Or just multiply the numbers that are not here. 24 by 74. 24 by 74. We went up 3 here. And we went up 26 here. 3 and 26. 3 and 26. B, oh my God, BCF. Somehow there's a product inside our minds that stamp out information. The avatar, I did this already, Krista Berg, the avatar, something about Nevada. No way to go. Nowhere to go. Nevada, nowhere to go. That's what it says, the name. See my bird? The avatar in Krista Berg. My name is God, Jesper Jefferson. I am the devil. Would you like to play? 1,000 souls are on the line. I'd like to know, were they playing for old shoes or what? What else is there? Yes, the logo. Here's my little logo I made over the weekend. Imagine this was an elbow, and imagine this was an elbow. This is the chicken without a head. Shackles, balance of truth, moon, meteorites, reality. I'm not sure if you ever lost this. The king of clubs, he has 2 of these, okay? It's the 1-3 corner. Puts the crown on it, holding 2 sides in, A, B, C, or 7, 8, 9. If he holds this on 7, 8, 9, that means it's upside down. His smile would be this way. Where is it? All right, here it is. Okay, so it depends what this means. I have to play with it to see what it means. Besides this, and then this, okay, is the fleur-de-lis. If you take a good look, there's a 3 in here, and there's a 3 here, and there's a 3 here, and there's a 3 here. It's 2 hearts. See the way this, see the way that? It's right in here, it holds it. Well, before the spaceship goes off, it retracts. There's 1 on each side to hold the pine straight. It's also a reality of, think of it on your own and think what you think. The Bitcoins that have just come out on the market, inside Bitcoins, they wrote something very funny. There's more movies on TV Wolves, roller balls, balls that roll, and balls that roll. You see, with a mouse, you couldn't do it side to side with this ball. With this ball, you could. This is a rock. This is a ball. This is a 0. This is a rock. 0, 1, or 10. When did take 10 take position? The thing I didn't understand with the Bitcoin is, can you read it underneath? It's in small letters. And when you're talking about coins, it puts Canada in capital letters, okay? Because Canada is a state. It puts the word 5 cents, okay, into capital letters because it's valued at 5 cents. When they take this money out, the $5 bill is in capital letters. So it doesn't have to say money. It says $5. Now, They just came up with the new money. I don't know where it is. I have 10 fives here and I can't find it. Just give me a second. Here it is. Canada is no longer in capitals in this money. Capital letters are written in bank. Who owns the money? It says the Bank of Canada. Who owns the Bank of Canada? And this guy's head is in there in silver. Okay? Silver might be just a decoration or a watermark. So he might be just a watermark in that picture. If you take a look on the left side, it says Bank of Canada, and you can barely see the writing. Oh my God, it's serial numbers. 695. Wow, there's a whole bunch of serial numbers there. I never even noticed it. Oh no, it says 55555. And then in the little writing, it says this ticket is legal tender note, belongs to Ottawa. No, it doesn't. So we're just working on an exchange of money. They give money to work on an exchange. Isn't that what the bank should be doing? Isn't that what the banks is? They give us something to say, this is yours, but it's ours. We owe you what that is worth. That's basically what it is. That's all it should say. It shouldn't say anything else. There shouldn't be any wording. If you're holding this money and there's no pliables against you, so it doesn't really say $5 anywhere except for inside the egg. But that doesn't count anymore inside the egg because there's a mark on the back. Don't forget when you vote, if there's two marks on the same thing, one takes out the vote from the other one. This says $5 on it. So if you reconnect the egg, okay, then on one side it says $5 because now the egg has been recreated, right? So now you have to read both sides because they came back together. This is $5 and this says it's owned. Well, if it's $5 but it's owned by Ottawa, they don't have to give you anything for it because it's theirs. Doesn't matter what it says on it, they own it. It says they own it. You have it, they own it, give it back to them. But right now they're being nice to us and they're letting us keep it. But under the law, you don't give it back to them. Making money on money is not the way things are supposed to be. It's just not supposed to be that way. Something's wrong with it. See in here, this $5, it was in big. This $5, it's in small. Why? What does that mean? Is that a mistake, the first part? The C shouldn't be there? What does C mean? It's worth a cent? Then we're going to end it on one more piece here. Yeah, I have very little, you know what, I can be doing a lot of different things and typewriters and figuring out Monopoly pieces and every single piece separately, but I've calmed it down a little bit and I'll get back to it one day. But you know, a lot of it is like a repeat. And people give me little things to work on and I do that. Then I go back and repeat because I can tell you the typewriter or the clock, and there's so many different little things, and every time I repeat it, I always do something just a little bit different that I've learned over the time, and it's only over a period of time that I'll tell you, well, look where all the letters are on your typewriter, and this is the reason, but it's my reason, and I share. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus, after an extended weekend out of the house. Thank you for watching.